In this video, I will show how to develop Tridion templates using XView in a similar way as you would develop an ASP.NET MVC web application. I'll give a short introduction, and after that I will show a live coding demo, and finally I'll do a wrap-up. What I'm going to create in this video is a template project using XView, in which we will create view models. We will create view model builders to build our view models, and we'll create Razor templates to render our views. And finally, I will create a unit testing project to test our Razor views. We need XView and Razor engine for this. What you see here is what I am going to create in this video. As you can see, this is a project in Visual Studio, what looks like an ASP.NET web application. We have models, view models, and we have builders to build our view models. We have Razor views to render our view model, and we also have a unit test project to test our Razor views here. And let me close this and let me start from scratch. So here I have a blank solution with one class library project. Let's set up our project first. Add the dependencies. XView DLL. Here we have the Tridion DLLs. And next we need the Razor engine. Also, we also need ASP.NET MVC. Okay, next we will create a web config file. So you may wonder why we need a web config file in a class library. Well, this is purely for Visual Studio to tell it to look for types in the Razor engine DLL. Next we need to do is rebuild this project, and this is important. What I'm going to show here is, okay, the DLL produced by the rebuild. What we need here is the Razor engine and ASP.NET MVC DLL. Copy them and place them in the bin folder of your project, so that Visual Studio can resolve the types reside in these DLL in your Razor view. And important, you need to put these two DLLs in the global assembly cache on the Tridion server that runs your template. So important, don't forget that. I've already done that on my server. And the following, we need to add a post-build event, a script that will run whenever we rebuild our project. And what this script does is it merged the XView DLL with the DLL that is produced by this project, and that merged DLL will be then uploaded into Tridion. Okay, let's close this. Okay, now we are ready to start coding. Let's create a controllers folder in which we create a class that derives from the XView controller. We call it submit controller. Okay, that's it. Rebuild this project. Succeed. Let's go into the template builder and let's create a component template. As you can see here, the DLL is uploaded and the submit controller becomes a template building block. Create an article component template. Select our controller and then run it with our article component. Okay, what you see here is XView. Whenever you create a template in Tridion, you have to create a view class inside your XView project. And if you don't have that view, then XView will let you know. It says view not found, and it tells you to implement the missing view, and this is the full name of that view. This is the root namespace of our project, and in there create a views folder, component views and article views. This article view is in XView C# class, and for this video I'm going to create, we are going to use Razor views instead of a C# class. So what I'm going to do is the following. First of all, I will create a structure that I want, the way that I want. Call builders. We create a views folder in which we create subfolders to store our views for component views, and we create a folder to store page views, and in the builder we create component builders to store builders to build component view models. Create page builders. And what we need to do is the following. Since we are going to create, since we are going to use Razor views, we don't need our C# views, and we are going to convert our C# views into builders to build our view models, and then have the view models rendered by Razor views. Okay, let me create a models folder in which we have components, view models for components, and pages, view models that represent pages, and let's say contents. Content builders. Go back to template build. Now what XView by default says, okay, you need to have views in this folder. But what we want XView to do is to look into the builder subname space for builders to to match with our template instead of the views. So to do that, we need to implement our own view mapper. Let's do it here. Call submit view mapper. We derive from the default view mapper. And we override a method. Okay, we need this, and we override get view namespace. This is how you do it. It is a component template. Then return else So what we do here is we tell the view mapper to look into builders, component builders, to map the builders for component templates, and for page templates, look in the page builders folder. Builders. So what I'm doing here is instead of naming our builders article view, we name it article builder, and this makes sure that well, this is how it's done. Okay, and now that we have a view mapper, how can we use it? We call it to the controller. We tell the controller to use our view mapper. Sorry. And we provide a root namespace. Okay, let's rebuild this and see what XView says. So it says, okay, I need a builder that's located in the folder builders, component builders, and article builder. So let's create some builders. Before we create builders, we are going to create the view models that our builders are going to build. I have some code here. Let's create some image model. I have it here, really simple classes. Let's go article. An article has title, introduction, and paragraphs. We need to create a paragraph view model. Okay. Okay, now we have the view models for our article. Let's build. Let's create the builder. And before we do so, we are going to create some base builders. The first base builder is, we call it builder. I also have code for it here. And I see I'm missing the context. Let's create a context. And let's utilize this context by changing this to some context. That's it. Or if you well, if you don't know how this works, well, I'll post in another video to explain how the context works. Okay, just ignore this for now. Let's go back to our builder. And I have a Razor runner. Let's create a Razor runner here. Okay, what this class does is, well, first of all, it contains this run method. The run method. When you call it, you specify a Razor view, a full name of a Razor view, and a view model, and then what it does is it calls Razor engine to render the model using this Razor view. And let's add another layer of abstraction. Let's say component builders. And what the component, well, the component builder inherits from the builder here, the base builder. And what this all means is, well, the base builder, it takes model type, which is component in this case, and in the second type parameter is the type that this builder is going to create. And now we have the component builder. Let's create an article builder. Article. And I also have code here. Okay, so our article builder. I see the article builder is using the paragraph builder and image builder. We create those in a second, but before that, let me explain this here. Our article builder derives from the component builder, and we tell, okay, this is a view model, the type of the view model that we are going to create, which is an article that we have created here. let's add an image bold. And let's add a paragraph builder. Put it in content builders. So now we have our builders, our article builder setup. And next, what we need to create is a razor. We need to add a razor view to render the article view model. Call it article. And important, whenever you add a new razor view in this project, and since this is a class library, we need to make it an embedded resource. Don't forget that. We have here the razor. Okay, this is our razor view, and what this razor view does is what we are trying to do is we are trying to generate this component presentation. I have already created a component inside Tridion for this presentation. This presentation is an article, has title, introduction, paragraphs, three of them, and each paragraph can have an image. And okay, now that we have an razor view, we are ready to rebuild, succeed. Let's test it in template builder. As you can see, so it works. What you see in the output here is that the rich text is not resolved. Let's resolve that. Let's go back to our controller. I have some code ready here. Okay, in the controller, you have the initialize method. That is the first method that XView will call whenever you render your template. And in here you can add initialization logic. And in this case, we assign a rich text resolver to the HTML resolver delegate. And this tells XView to resolve rich text whenever you read rich text from Tridion. So it will do it automatically for you. Let's recompile, succeed, check. Okay, the XML namespaces are gone. So next, let's build a page template. Okay, let's build a page template. Before we do so, we need to close this. Save it first. We need to go into Tridion and create a page so that we can test the page with the page template that we are going to create. before we do so, we need to link a schema to our article template so that we can add an article component presentation to the page. Create a KLM page care. Sorry about that. Page care. Okay, we have a page. So let's go in template building block and create a page template. We call it default page template. And use the submit controller again. Run it with our page. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. I created a component template instead of a page template. Default. Okay, again, XView says that we need to create a default builder for our default page template. Let's go to create that. Before we do so, create a base page builder. And in page builders folder, we create a default. Sorry, I need to call it default builder, otherwise XView won't be able to find it. And before I paste some code in here, let me create the view models for our page. Our page has presentations. Sorry, I need to grab the view models. And let's create a view model for the default page template. Okay. Okay. Now we have the view models. Let's create builders for them. We have a press builder. I have here the presentation builder. And let's create a default builder. And then finally we create a razor view. By default. Okay, this is simple Razor view. Contains this is our view model, and in this Razor template, what you see here is we loop through the presentation of the model, which is the default page, and then output in raw the content of each presentation. Just a simple template. And I think we are okay. Let's rebuild. And run again. We have an error. Okay, I forgot to make our default Razor view to be an embedded resource. Here we go. Succeed. Okay. And voila. As you can see. Okay, that is how you can use Razor. You can create view models. You can create view model builders in an ASP.NET MVC fashion. And to complete this, let me create a few filters. Decorate. Add the default finish action here, just for demo purpose. Action. And let's also create a validation filter. XML validation filter. And go back to the controller and register that. Okay, that's it. Okay, what these guys do, if you would, if you've been to my talk of XView at the Tridion Developers Summit 2016, then you will know how these items, these filters work. Maybe I will post a video, separate video to explain how these work. And before continue, let's check. You won't see any difference. Before I continue with the unit testing, let me create a system view. And with this, I would like to point out that you can create, or you can have the C# class views to work side by side with Razor views. What this view what this view will do is it will replace the view that you see whenever you create an error. When you don't have a view for your template, XView will show you, okay, you are missing a view and you need to implement it. We are going to replace that view. this is also a resource, an embedded resource. Now I copy this HTML from the XView project, and what I change here is this methods. Instead of saying that XView cannot find a matching view, I changed it to builder, and please implement this missing builder class. Okay, this is an example of the C# class view. As you can see, it looks really clean. I'll walk quickly through this so you can have an idea how this works. Whenever you create a C# view class, you need to implement the render method, in which you add logic to render output for a component or a page, or just what it can be something else other than a page or a component. And in here I use XTemplate to load this HTML and to parse it, actually to assign content to it, and eventually parse it and then return the result. And what you have here in a view, in XView, you have the ability to tell XView not to decorate or validate the output of this view. And for instance, we have here a validation filter for XML, and this validation filter will apply filtering, or will filter output for all the views that have XML output. In this case, we don't specify an output for our view, an output type for our view. So the output type for our view will be HTML, which is the default output type for our view. And in case, well, we don't want our view to be, for instance, in this case, to be filtered by the default finish action decoration filter, we tell explicitly, okay, do not decorate me and do not validate me. Anyways, let's continue. Now we have this view. How can we use it? Go back to the controller. Controller allow you to specify view mapping view, view mapping error view, and you simply say return new mapping error, and you need to specify the contents. Okay, that's it. Let's test this. Let's go back to Tridion. Close the default. Let's create a new view. Say test component template. So what you see here is our view is utilized, and you see the builder. So if you want to make change of this output, you can simply go in here and make the changes here. Okay, let's continue with unit testing our Razor views. Let's start a new project, a test project. We call it Tridion template submit and tests. Let's delete this guy. Now let's set this up. We add the dependencies. reference to our template project, and we are going to use the HTML agility pack to allow us to easily test the HTML output basically. HTML agility requires the following from the .NET framework: the system XML DLL. Okay, now we are ready to create unit tests. Let's create 4 views. Component. Going to unit test our article Razor view. Class test. I have coded for it ready here. So we have a article test class in which we have a few really simple test methods, just to demonstrate the purpose of this video. What you have here, for instance, a test that check whether the title or output, the title is correct in the output of our Razor article view. And this is a test that check that if our Razor, well, if our article view well, it will throw an exception when there is no paragraph generated by our article view. And this test says the article view should produce 1 image tag, and it should have 2 paragraphs. So simple test. And let's run this test. So our test passed. And let's change a few to cause an error. Okay, now we have 2 images. Let's go back here. So in the code we add just 1 image, and we test for that. We say, okay, it has to return 1 image, but our view has, in this case, 2 images. So let's run. So should have to 1 image. It's failed. It says expected 1 and actually 3. Okay, we have 3 images. That's true actually, because we output this in a loop. Okay. So so that's how you can create Tridion template project using XView in an ASP.NET MVC manner, and you can unit test your Razor view. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Wrap up. Okay, If you have questions about this, please go to Tridion Stack Exchange and ask them there. I will check Tridion Stack Exchange frequently, and I'll be glad to answer your questions about XView. And you can download XView from xviewcodeplex.com, and you can of course also email me if you have questions, and you can also check me on Skype with this nickname. And yeah, I hope you will try this out. Thank you.